Hello ladies, couple of reminders, 4 minutes warm-up sharp please. 25 seconds, 4 minutes warm-up for a year already. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Towels, you take the furthest boxes, you know, furthest one, and you take the closest one. Okay, the boxes, you see boxes? No color, just the closest one. And the clocks are right there, top corner on left, and right there for the clock. Step up. Fox 10, you can challenge, okay, and you can have as many challenges you want, okay, unlimited. But don't challenge ball out like this. I won't accept it, okay? Any questions, ladies? No, I only come down if you have an issue with the machine, but otherwise I don't. If the machine is on, I don't come down. You want to choose heads or tails? Heads? Heads. You serve? Okay.
Hasn't played much on clay at all, and is a surface that she hasn't won the tournament, believe it enough. So yeah, it's I think to her it's all about preparation, this tournament and probably the next few for the French Open. She has another Japanese opponent today. What a pity, no? Two Japanese players facing each other in the first round. Misaki Doi, a good player, a lefty. She usually likes sort of fast surfaces, grass and hard courts. Can play flat, but has won a tournament on clay in Bastad a couple of years ago, so knows how to play on this surface. And yeah, she'll be looking forward to play her compatriot today. Is quite an experienced player already. She's been around for some time. As you said, ranked 79 in the world, has come through the qualis, which is good for her. She's had a couple of matches under her belt, and yeah, one title like we said, and has been as high as 30, so exciting.
Yeah, she's somebody who does like to play an aggressive brand of tennis from the baseline and really try and dictate with that forehand side, and has overcome some injuries in her career. As you said, also Tina, been on the tour for such a long time now. Doi, number 58 in the race to Shenzhen, so higher than her ranking. She's done a nice job this season of qualifying for tournaments, getting into main draws. Had a tough one coming in, playing in Charleston at the 250, had to retire in a third set tiebreak with cramps against her fellow Japanese player, now Hibino. That was a real up and down encounter of that one. And for Osaka, has been as high as number 1, top ranking in the world, coming in at number 2, 7 titles to her name. We know what she's done at the big events, the Grand Slams, just winning. And on hard courts, you would have to say it's no stretch to say she's probably the best player at the moment, playing on hard courts, so comfortable on that surface. But as you see there, has been a quarterfinalist in Madrid in 2019 and 2019 when she last played a full clay court swing. She had a good record, 9-2.
Oh yeah, I mean, like we said, you know, clay is the surface that she'll be looking to find the touch and the rhythm and the surface under her feet. She's done a lot of work on her movement on the court after practice, after training sessions. She's done a lot of physical work on the court, a lot of sprints, little sprints and stuff like that. Yeah, obviously different training for clay than grass or hard court, and she's been focusing on that with her team. But yeah, a very exciting player. What can we say? You know, the last tournament she's played was in Miami, wasn't it? Some time ago now, where she got to the quarterfinal, and after that she took some time off. She said she's had enough, and she's played a lot of matches, won a lot of matches in a row, and just had enough after Miami, needed some time off with her family, and now she's back. Lovely to see her back.
Yeah, great to see her back. Look at the head-to-heads between these players. Third meeting overall, last one coming at the US Open, as mentioned, won by Osaka. Misaki Doi will begin against Naomi Osaka. And it's a good start. Speaking of that forehand.
Oh yeah. She certainly likes to dictate with that one.
looking for the first top 10 win in her career. Doi. The one thing, if you look at her results, her record against top 10 players, you know, pushed a lot of them close, taken sets. Had a match point, you might remember, against Angelique Kerber the year that Kerber won the Australian Open. That was in the first round.
Yeah.
And there was some match point magic for Osaka in Melbourne this year, saving a couple of them against Muguruza on the way to that big crown.
It's amazing how these players can turn it around, facing match points down and then winning the whole thing. We often said this year that it could have been Muguruza who you know, to win that Melbourne, because she was and is in such a good form. What a pity she had to pull out of this tournament, but up until now she's really showed us some great tennis, Muguruza. So.
Is she going to make an early challenge? No. And she was so looking forward to playing at home. Muguruza just waited to the last moment to see if she could play, but unfortunately having to pull out. She was due to face Sloane Stephens, who won yesterday against Danka Kovanic, lucky loser. And a nice finish from Doi inside the line. Good hole to begin. So Tina, we're talking about the clay court game of Naomi Osaka, and we've seen aggressive players, if you want to use that term, flourish on a clay court. You know, Kvitova, Ostapenko won the French a couple of years ago. Sharapova was a real flat hitter, and then she made this transition going on to have great success at the French.
Yeah, I mean, for players like Kvitova, who was actually not born, but she grew up on clay courts, it's much easier for people like that to develop the game quicker. And somebody like Sharapova, who practiced on the hard courts of the US, for her it took longer to get used to the surface, and she did in the end. But it took her a few years to get to know how to slide and the shot selection. And yeah, you know, so Serena is similar. She took her some time to get used to the clay. Obviously, big difference with sliding and just with feeling the surface under your feet. And I think that's what Osaka is working on, just feeling the surface and getting the movement right. And she has a good coach, a great coach, Wim Fissette, on her side, and he's so experienced. I'm sure he's giving her a lot of good tips.
Serena loves playing on the clay, by the way. There seems to be this notion that she doesn't, but she does love playing on the clay, Serena.
Usually it takes, you know, for the American players longer to get used to the surface. It's normal, isn't it? I mean, British players know how to play on grass. You put a British person on grass and they know how to hit the ball. It's coming low. This is Wim Fissette on the right with a grey shirt. So it's similar for clay. European players know how to move on the surface, and everything just comes natural, like Halep, for example.
An early opening for Doi in this service game for Osaka. And speaking of the sliding aspect, which we know we see a lot of it on the clay, I mean, how important is it to be able to do that on the clay? Can you get away with not really having to do that and just...
Don't think so, no, don't think so. I mean, if you look at somebody like Nadal, who's won, I don't know how many, 10 Roland Grosses?
He's won 13, I believe. You lose track.
You just lose track every year he wins, so...
Well, that started with a great return from Doi.
Yeah, good start, definitely. A couple of break points now for Doi. Yeah, if you look at somebody like him, he slides all the time, doesn't he? He slides into shots, and it's impossible to play good on clay without sliding.
2 break points for Doi. And it's been a very good start indeed for Misaki Doi, the qualifier. A break in hand for 2 left.
Yeah, and she'll certainly feel more comfortable because she's won 2 matches on clay, and she's very well used to these conditions in Madrid when it's the first match for Osaka. Good start for Doi.
Yeah, and she beat Kovanic in the qualifying, and Kovanic had just made the Charleston final. Won that in straight sets, did Doi 6-2, 6-4. Cleaned up behind her first serve, 74% first serve points won, only 53% for Kovanic, who does have a big serve. Had to come back from a breakdown in the second. She was talking also, Osaka, about just, again, not trying to put too much pressure on herself on the service, wanting to have fun, wanting to get matches under her belt and building, really building.
Yeah, exactly. It's about the process, isn't it, for her?
A little help from the net cord for Osaka. Took it so early, held her ground as she likes to do on the baseline, Doi.
15.
Yes, good footwork, little steps there from Doi. Just getting in position for the ball. Has been dictating nice in the beginning of the first set, Doi.
And even though she missed that, again, where she would have wanted to hit that forehand, had time on that forehand, Doi, who was born in Yokohama. Obviously, a massive year coming up, a few months, the Olympics to be held in Tokyo. Back foot again in that rally, Osaka, but wins the point.
Manages to stay in the point. Good defense there from Osaka.
She did a lot of defending when she was coming up through the ranks. Osaka, known more as a counterpuncher back in those days.
A few years ago, yeah.
Yeah, quite a few years ago now.
Yeah.
What type of player she has become in terms of the big flat hitting. Ball flying on Osaka, and balls can fly in Madrid being in altitude, so not only contending with being on a new surface, but also with the air, different type.
Yep.
Oh, that's a beautiful drive from Osaka.
Well, it's also getting it into the mindset that the points will be, the rallies will be longer. Somebody like Osaka likes to finish the points quite early, but you know, on clay she'll get a few more balls back. An extra shot to be played. Be good for her to get a re-break.
And she has a chance to do it here. And she does get it back. Let's see how big that game was, especially for Doi having the chance to close it out and get out to 3-11. She was down a break, Naomi Osaka, but just breaking in the last game to get back on serve, serving in 1-2.
Good angle there from Doi with a lefty forehand. Taking the ball out of the court for Osaka.
She's had so much of the success playing hard courts, Tina, and not necessarily saying it in her case, but can a player get into this situation where they have so much success on one surface and they think to themselves, well, you know, can I do it on a click, or should I be able to play well on a click, or can those types of thoughts enter a player's mind?
Well, maybe, yes, but I think with such champions, they always look positive, don't they? They think about positive things. They know that perhaps the surface is not something that they like, but they will work on it, and they will do everything they can to try to make it as best as they can. And I think that's what Osaka is doing. Clay is obviously not her surface, but she plays better on hard courts because she hasn't won a tournament basically on clay. But this guy on the right, Wim, I'm sure he's been around really good players who have been able to play really well on clay, and he knows everything about it.
Yeah, he was excited about getting the chance to, to work on the clay with Osaka.
Yeah, and if you look at it like a challenge, then it's good. She's come back now in this first set. Playing a bit better, love 2 down, you get a little bit worried, but she's finding slowly the movement on the court, eliminating the errors a little bit. That was a very good serve, body serve.
Excellent serve indeed from Osaka for 2-all. If you're Doi on the other side of the court, you're trying to get this first top 10 win, such a big match. 2-love, 40-15, and then 15-30 in the last game.
Yeah. You know, can she handle her power? That's the question. Can she handle Osaka's power? Because once she gets the rhythm and the timing, it's difficult for anyone on the other side of the net. So.
Yeah, that's why maybe it was imperative for her to pounce when she had that chance.
Yeah, yeah.
However, it is still early days in this match. And she did take that set off Osaka at the US Open last year. 6-2, 5-7, 6-2. 51% that day on Osaka first serve, so would have wanted to get that high, but she saved 6 of 8 break chances. 38 unforced for both, but 25 winners to 17 for Osaka. In the key, maybe final set, she broke right at the start of the third, then had to save break points in the next game, so just wrestled control of the match part of the third set.
Yeah, getting that set at the US Open will give her some confidence, though, that she can play well against such great players. This is obviously different conditions. Clay, US Open court's quite fast. The ball coming to you.
Also met in Tokyo on hard courts, 2016, so a long time ago, 5 years. But also then Osaka's first serve percentage, she would have wanted it to be higher, was 46% that day, but she won almost 90% of those points. Good, clean hitting from Doi.
40-15.
Just worked that point so nicely, waited for a chance with the inside in forehand after going inside out. Coach there approves. Christian Zahalka on the left. Gets some of the momentum back. Doi now leads in the first 3-2. Back with the lead in this first set is Misaki Doi against her fellow Japanese player Naomi Osaka, who is serving at 2-3. One match last year for Osaka on the clay, coming in the Billie Jean King Cup in February, where she was beaten in straight sets by Sara Ceribes Tormo. Said it was a loss, a result that really had an impact on her. Good deep hitting, and then didn't play the clay court swing after winning last year, the US Open.
Yeah, Roland Garros was in October, wasn't it, last year? So it's difficult to travel for her.
Well, that's a serve that can translate on any surface.
Yeah. This year, obviously, Roland Garros has been moved for a week, gives players another week to to play matches or practice on the surface.
Slid nicely into that, Osaka.
40, 15.
Just working on a movement into the shot.
Yeah, moving back and then back into the shot.
You mentioned Sharapova earlier, and she'd work with Yutaka Nakamura, who is now in the box in the corner of Osaka. Strength and fitness.
Interesting, because I'm sure she's helped her with her game on clay courts, Sharapova, and it's good to have somebody like that in your box, because, like we said, Sharapova wasn't too comfortable with the surface at the beginning of her career, and then managed to get really well on it, winning Roland Garros, and perhaps, you know, Osaka can do similar, something similar.
Well, at this stage, I think it would be silly to discount that, to say
Yeah.
that, no, I'm not going to do that. I mean, she's still so young, time on her side, and you need only look at a player like Sharapova to say if she can do it, because she's describing herself at the start of her career on the clay courts. Oh, that is the type of point that could really give her confidence playing on this surface, Osaka.
Oh yeah, a longer point, tested her patience there, waited for the right shot. Stayed aggressive throughout the point, but look at this forehand, just stays down low. Got the angle, short angle there, watches the ball closely. Lovely preparation.
That is a fine game from Osaka to get the hold for 3-0. Yeah, just to finish that thought on Sharapova, you know, earlier in career, if you'd have said, okay, she's going to win these number of French Open titles, then you think, oh, really? But it, yeah, turned out to be the case for her.
Yeah, if you work at it, then, you know, anything's possible. For these top players, I would say she can win on ice, you know, if she had to play. I mean, they can adjust. They have the best people around them, and yeah, why not? You know, it's similar, for example, for some Spanish players. There have been years where some Spanish players didn't play Wimbledon, for example, because they just couldn't find the rhythm, and they didn't know how to play on grass, which is almost the opposite from clay. Obviously, they're brought up on clay, and all Spanish people can play on clay so well. It's their natural surface. So it's similar going into another surface. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But I think those times are gone. People have to learn to play on all surfaces.
Upping the ante now is Osaka, and it's great to have examples, right, of players who've done that. So you think of talking about Spain and the grass court, players, Rafa,
Yeah.
doing well on the grass and,
Yeah.
and winning it, and then later Garbine Muguruza
Yeah.
doing it. So the examples for the players coming from these nations saying, you know what, I'm watching my countrywomen do it, I can do it too.
Yeah, Muguruza's game is not so much a clay court game, is it?
But hailing from Spain, even though
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
born
yeah.
in Venezuela.
Yeah, yeah. Her game is more hard court, more grass. But somebody like Rafa is a typical clay court player, and obviously can adjust so well to grass. Has won many Wimbledons.
Yeah.
I'm not sure grass was his favorite at the beginning. Probably not. For somebody playing from Spain, but yeah, you can do anything if you get your mind to it, if you focus.
Yeah, may not have been his favorite surface,
Yeah.
but something he said at the start, really early part of his career, that he wanted to win.
Yeah,
So
sure,
he had his
yeah.
eyes on winning that
of
title
course.
very, very young.
Of course.
Oh, that's lovely from Osaka. Soaked up the pressure and then had her chance and capitalized.
15.
Couple of break points now. It's a good slice, interesting slice. Their defense shot manages to turn it into offense.
Has been a turnaround, a clear shift in this first set. Into the groove now is Naomi Osaka, who breaks and now has the upper hand in this first set. 4-3. Serving with new balls and also a break lead now. Naomi Osaka at 4-3. That point she won a couple of games ago, finishing with that angle forehand seems to give it a big jolt of momentum. Osaka. And just no chance there. Great pace on the serve from Osaka. Finding her spot once again on the serve.
Playing a bit like Zabalenka, isn't she? Serve and first strike. She's finding the serve and the angle, and of course the second shot is much easier. 3 points now for 5-3.
And now one more game needed for Osaka to get through this first set.
She's having difficulties handling the power of Osaka. That was always the fear for her. It's a good start, 2-love up, and had points for 3-love.
Yeah, I think that was very important for her. If she could have gotten out to 3-love, maybe some doubts, more doubts, if they were coming in from Osaka to face that scoreboard type of pressure.
Yep.
Love 3.
Good depth on that ball.
I had a chance to reach out to her coach before the match yesterday and ask about Doha, and he was saying, Zahalka, that they're just happy that she's healthy because she's had a shoulder issue most of the last 18 months. She feels that she's in good shape now fitness-wise. So the game plan coming in was just trying to play her game, try to be as offensive as possible. And I felt she's been practicing well in Madrid.
It's all about spending hours and hours of practice and match play on clay. You get better by doing that, and for all the players, I think that's probably the case, especially the ones who are coming out of Europe and haven't played much on clay courts in their lives, apart from being on tour.
Did play in Charleston on the green clay prior to this Doha. I mentioned that match against Hibino. Topsy-turvy, she was down 5-1 in the second set.
Really?
Won that, forced the third, then had match points, 5 of them in the third before the tiebreak, but then had to retire due to cramps at the start of the tiebreak. And they had actually met in an all-Japanese final in Hiroshima 2019. First time that had happened in that stage in more than 20 years. Won by Hibino. Well, important just to steady in that situation, and she's able to do so. Doi keeps it close to the first, stays in contention in the first. Indeed, it's 5-4. They're out also in Barcelona for the men's event last week, which Nadal won. Reduced capacity this week, around 40%. Watching on as Osaka tries to close out the first. That line very close to the chart umpire who saw it. No challenge from Osaka. Doi with an opportunity to extend this first set.
It's not going away though, is she? She's a big fighter. I've seen some matches of her where she really fights till the end.
Big difference, first serve and second serve points won. 33% of the second serve for Osaka. Doi there wins the point on the first serve. Even after the net cord that seemed to go against her on the forehand. 3 straight break chances. And broken to love. 5 all it is. It is her first match on clay in such a long time, more than 12 months on that situation, trying to close out a first set when it's tight in the scoreline. Not in that position on a clay court in a long time, Osaka.
15 all.
To give credit to Doi, she's been hanging in there, fighting and just waiting for her opportunities. Runs a lot of balls down when she can, when she's not overpowered by Osaka.
She defended so well in the corner.
30, 15.
Just made Osaka hit that one extra shot and the air came.
What a turnaround here in the first set.
15.
Serve with good depth and quite courageous shot down the line there. Couple of points for lead 6-5 now for Doi.
Not there just yet.
40, 30.
Yeah, she thought she should have played a inside-out forehand there and not the slice that she missed into the net.
Well, she was broken enough to get earlier in the set from 40-15, Doi.
Yeah, great comeback again in this game for Osaka.
Perfect on the break chances, both of them. Oh, and you thought it was going to continue. When she set up for that backhand, Osaka.
Didn't move towards the ball. This is what we were talking about before. That ball would have come to you on a hard court, but on clay court it doesn't. It almost stops, and you have to make another short step towards the ball to really penetrate it. And
advantage. Doi.
Long game, and the longer the games go, sometimes the more significance they take on. Looks another opportunity. Osaka. Good hitting from Doi. And it wasn't a bad return to start that point from Osaka. They were talking about Osaka earlier, just maybe could have moved up quicker on that ball of Doi.
Yeah, again, Clay. Need to move to the ball.
Really tried to find an angle there, Osaka. Well, that was nice from Osaka because she had to start the point again after an earlier forehand. Centered it a little bit.
Yeah, that was a much better point, wasn't it? She stayed patient in this point, Osaka. Didn't go for the winners too soon, waited for the right shot. Just dictated the point as well, and she finds the forehand down the line.
They're hoping for a break on this next point. It's a fourth chance in the game. Well, that's a let off. The return miscue from Osaka.
A lot of opportunities for her in this game to break.
Nice response because you could see the disappointment on her face after she missed the return earlier.
Again, a patient point from her. It's the return that you really don't want to miss, is it? Return and double fault is almost the same as the first, you don't do much. Okay, if the serve is too good,
yeah.
then it's too
Second
good.
serve return, if it just sits up,
yeah,
you'd be disappointed missing that one.
Yeah.
Breaks through. It was a long one. Back and forth between these two. It goes the way of Osaka, and she will have a second chance to try and close out this first set. Now 6-5. Last time she was trying to serve out the first set, Osaka, she was broken to love, so she wants a different outcome here. That's 6-5. And it is a better start for her. We talked about the first serve percentage she had in her previous two matches against Doi, 51%, 46%. Today, so far, similar, 45%.
Yeah, that's not too much for Osaka. I'm sure she would want to get that percentage higher.
Even if we know that she likes to hit flat on the first serve, but as you said, Tina, she'd love to have that a bit higher. Just a little slip, trying to dig that ball out, Doi. Three set points now for the number 2 seed. It was a battle. The first set.
Second set.
Misaki Doi will begin the second set after having opportunities in set number 1, being up that early break. A couple points for 3 love, but in the end, Osaka rallying. And thus, Osaka very closer now to getting that first clay court victory since the 2019 French Open against Victoria Azarenka. That was the fortnight, you might recall, where she came back. First 2 matches against Schmidlova and Azarenka before being beaten by Katerina Siniakova. Also quarterfinalist in Madrid in 2019. Speaking of that match, she played against Sorribes Tormo last year. She beat Sorribes Tormo in Madrid 2 years ago. Oh, that will hurt Doi. You feel she needs a hold really to start the second set, especially after the way the first set unfolded. Good stretch on the return, but no missing on that forehand from Doi. Oh, lovely change of direction from Osaka during a break chance.
It's good to see her stepping into the court. Obviously, she's feeling more comfortable with Doi's balls. Staying down low. Getting to that ball.
Well, what a forehand that was from Osaka. Putting it past Doi for the break.
First game, second set.
Nearing the hour mark. Look at the first set statistics.
Well, the first set has been quite tight for both players. Osaka was up 5-3, didn't quite convert that lead. Had to go into 7-5, but she manages to find her way in the end. Her serve percentage is 47%. She should get that higher. For her, that's probably not good enough, but you know, it's just a way of this first match after a long time. It's just a way of coming through. That's the most important, coming through today, and she can build on that.
Well chased. She can move quickly around the court, Osaka.
That was a little slide in the end, wasn't it? At that drop shot. With the right foot sliding into the shot.
Well, just surging now is Osaka.
40, low.
And it's a hold to love.
Osaka.
It's really building that momentum. Comfortable hold to end the first set, and then hold to love for 2-love.
It was a very good second serve with a lot of bounce on it. You know, the champion from Stuttgart, Ash Barty, she's been saying a lot about getting to feel the surface under her feet, how it's different, how she's still getting used to it. Every match by match, she was getting better, and
that's a nice finish, very nice, and applauded sportingly by Osaka. Not for the first time.
Yeah, it's a good point from Doi. And you know, I think it's going to be similar for Osaka. Just getting the feel, getting more matches, getting more practice hours on the clay, staying calm, patient.
Yeah, the more reps, the more time on the surface, the better for her. When she almost made the semis, talking about her making the quarterfinals, she almost made the semis. 2019, she was up 5-3 in the third against Belinda Bencic before the Swiss rally.
And of course, she hasn't played for such a long time on clay that it takes adjustment again to do it. Good service game now from Doi.
Not quite trading the love holds. Good cross-court backhand from Osaka. Keep keeping Osaka in this game. First double for Doi. Well, it's a nice response after the double fault. They just needed to stay close, needs to stay close in this second set, and is able to do so. But it is Osaka who leads by a set on the break.
He's on the side. Yeah, he's on the side, and I guess.
Mia Osaka leading this first round match against her fellow Japanese player, Misaki Doi. And it gets even better after this first point of the fourth game.
Well, yeah, it's a pity that the two Japanese players in the tournament have to face each other in the first round. But probably a very interesting match for our Japanese fans. The Japanese people love tennis, love their sports personalities.
And she's so looking forward to playing the Olympics. Osaka has talked about it a few times this year. It's going to be a lot of support for and also attention at spotlight.
Yeah, they are worshipped there, the tennis players and other sports people as well. You don't see anything like it actually. You know, practicing with Sugiyama years ago in Tokyo, people climbing up the fence to see the practice. Absolutely unbelievable how they how they love their sports personalities. And yeah, I'm sure Osaka is one of the most popular.
Yes, yes. On the men's side, Nishikori.
Yeah.
She's been talking about that generally, Tina. She's, was asked about that side of, being under the spotlight a lot and having a lot of the media attention, and that's something that she's learning to deal with, and somebody who she said helped her in that respect, late Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, yeah. She's mentioned that before several times, and what an idol to have to help you through that. Certainly somebody who's been through the same attention can give you good advice.
Well, the angles she found there, great use of the wrist on those forehands, and good early preparation on that backhand. Great point for Osaka, who now can barely lose a point on serve.
By 3 games to 1.
And she recently announced off court she's going to be launching her own skincare company, Osaka, called Kinlo.
Yeah, and swimsuit. I'm sure she's doing a lot of stuff off the court as well.
Yeah.
Just like Sharapova. Smart business women.
Yeah, good finish from Doi. You think of over the last decade or so, the magazine, Forbes magazine, comes out with a list of the richest athletes, richest female athletes, and Sharapova and Serena had been on there. And in the most recent one, according to Forbes, the highest paid female athlete ever, Osaka, in a 12-month period.
Oh, really? Ever? Yeah.
Yeah.
More and more money in our lovely sport, of course, every year.
This is, prize money and then endorsements.
Yeah.
Yeah, chatting about the Olympics too, and relating it to Doi, Tina, is that her ranking is number 79, so it has to go around 20 spots more, top 56 plus a maximum of 4 per country. And with the adjustments made to the rankings, understandably, a little bit harder to climb the rankings at this stage.
Oh, a good adjustment of that return. The serve was right into the body. She manages to put the racket right in front of her and get that short ball, not on purpose though.
Yeah.
Good point for her. Yeah, it's going to be tough, I think, for Doi to qualify for the Olympics, to be honest. 20 spots at this stage is a lot. She would need to do something huge to...
Having to do it, climb on the surface for her.
Yeah. Maybe Maybe she'll get a wild card. Who knows? There's wild cards as well.
A good, clean winner, clean hitting from Doi.
Yeah, it's important for her to get this game to stay close in the score. Yeah, you're doing the Olympics, right? So you know a bit more about it. That the cutoff is around 56 or something. 60,
it'll be after the French, and again, maximum of 4 per nation.
Per nation, yeah.
And again, getting the hold she was looking for, Doi. But they'll be looking to get a break of serve sometime soon, because it is Osaka who leads by a set and a break. An hour and 14 minutes on the clock, and Naomi Osaka holding this set and break lead.
She's finding her first serves a little bit more now in the second set, Osaka. Which helps her get those 3 points that she's so used to.
That's only the second point she has lost on her serve since the end of the first set, Osaka.
Just dictating with a forehand again, Doi. That's what she likes most, and great volley, good timing there.
Oh, what a laser that was.
Yeah, plenty of time on that backhand to change direction.
30, 15.
Nice variation from Osaka on the forehand today. We're seeing the curl forehand. She's getting it up high, also flattening out.
Yeah, getting that extra sting on the forehand as well, Osaka.
Oh, a lovely finish from Doi.
Had to get that ball over the net, a low ball, and good touch. Look at this, barely made it over the net. Soft hands. Even Osaka likes it.
Yeah. There was a chance for Doi to extend this game, maybe get a break. To her dismay, the ball going wide. 4-2. has deposited her fair share of forehand winners.
50.
Doi.
Low.
Good depth here. Play back behind her. Good tactic on play.
Resta 0.
First serve percentage now from for Doi in the second set is above 80%, which is great. And that serve out wide to the backhand really works.
Just again, it's another well-worked point from Doi.
Yeah, after the good first serve, right? She dictates.
And she likes that winner. Osaka punctuated with a come on.
40.
Yeah, has struggled on the second serve in the second set. Doi has won 20% of points, 1 out of 5. So yeah, she wants to get as many first serves in as she can.
A little short in the court, miss hit, and the return from Osaka made it tricky for Doi.
Yeah, didn't quite get to the ball, just needed another half a step to get to, move towards the ball, and mistimed it. Yeah.
Nicely done and smoothly done from Osaka. Didn't try to force that final forehand.
Yeah, had just enough on it, didn't it? And he's finding the footing under her feet now. Good footwork here.
Yeah,
Nice.
needed that from 40 love.
Ace number 3 in the second set. Perfect ball toss right above her head. Not too much in the front, no, not too much in the back. Good for the first serve.
Took it out of the air and comfortably putting it away.
Yeah, manages to get a few balls backdoor, but it was just a matter of time when Osaka finishes at the net.
Super return from Osaka. There have been some advantages in this match for Doi. 2-love, 40-15 on serve, broken, and then broken at 5-all, 40-15, and she's going in against Osaka, needing to see out those games. Here was 40-love, but now a break chance. Oh, that's a... The last time Misaki Doi picked up a top 20 victory was in Madrid in 2017 against Madison Keys. Is bidding for a first top 10 win here against Osaka, but gonna need to be a major turnaround for that to happen, because Osaka now is trying to close this one out. Fourth event for this year. Osaka, after the Gippsland Trophy, Australian Open, and Miami, walk over just ahead of the Australian Open as a precaution, and we know she won there, and then saw her 23-match winning streak come to an end in Miami against Maria Sakkari in straight sets. Just a little late to adjust there, but she was happy with that, getting to the quarterfinals, because hadn't done that before in Miami City. Of course, she knows so well, used to live there.
Yeah.
And also was just talking about the fact that she felt that she really fought well in that match against Sakkari. She compared it to a match she played against Coco Gauff last year at the Australian Open, when she lost it in the first week of the Australian Open. But she felt in this one, when she was referring to the Gauff match, this one she was competing better, even though she lost it in two. And competing well in this one. Looks like she's going to get the victory she wants on the clay.
Oh yeah, certainly. She's competing well. You know, that's the top players. Always get through somehow, even if they're not playing well. It's first match after a long time on clay, but they manage to get those important points under their belt, and that's what she's done today. A couple of match points now for Osaka.
15.
And sealed with an ace. And there it is. Naomi Osaka picks up her first win on a clay court since the 2019 French Open, beating her teammate in the Billie Jean King Cup, Misaki in straight sets. 7-5, 6-2.